evening, everybody. I'm Dennis Morgino, Director of Communications for Cox California. I'd like to welcome you to our very first Santa Barbara Salute to Teachers. Tonight, we begin a new tradition and a new partnership between Cox and the Santa Barbara County Education Office. We're really grateful that you're here for our inaugural event. We're especially grateful to the sponsors and the business partners who helped make this night a reality. You'll be hearing from most of them as we go along in the program. Of course, Cox has a long history of involvement in Santa Barbara, and particular in the Santa Barbara education community. In 2001, Cox partnered with the County Education Office in the unique and very forward-looking at the time, Computers for Families program, offering discounted internet to eligible local families that helps to bridge the digital divide. It was one of the very first programs of its kind in the entire country. That has evolved now into our nationwide Cox Connect to Compete program, launched in California this past year, which offers needy families in our service area heavily discounted computers as well as high-speed internet service. Despite all of our best efforts, we know there are still families in need who don't have computers or internet in their home, and that can really impact your effectiveness as teachers and impact students' abilities to learn. So what we've done is provide the mechanism to get those families low-cost computers and heavily discounted, high-speed internet access. So what I would ask of you, my ask of you tonight, is that if you have students that qualify, meaning they're on the free school lunch program, email us. Obviously they can't, but you can. Email us at connecttocompete@cox.com. Connecttocompete@cox.com.
My calculus teacher senior year made me love math, which wasn't something that I thought was in the cards, but made it come alive in ways I didn't expect.
Bob Boyer, he was a basketball coach for me and my math teacher. He passed away this last year, but he was always somebody that was very inspirational to me.
It's my dad. I got to have my dad as a teacher for a year. He was super into the outdoors and nature, so we got to do all sorts of fun stuff.
My kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Quitner, and what I loved is that she very quickly understood that I was special.
I had a college professor, Ms. Osgood, who had so much energy and excitement about teaching. She would run up and down the aisles and jump and scream and give kids high fives, and we do little talking activities, and she was more animated than anybody else, so it was pretty inspiring.
Our MC for this evening, Andrew Firestone, born and raised in Santa Barbara County, now lives here with his wife Ivana and 2 children. He's the Senior Vice President of West Coast Asset Management in Santa Barbara. Please give a nice round of applause to our MC for the evening, Mr. Andrew Firestone.
Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Are we having fun yet? This party is for you. This party is to celebrate teachers of Santa Barbara County for the work that you do 365 days a year. This is your one night to let loose. Have fun, abuse the Cox hospitality this evening. We are here tonight to thank 7 very special educators, but really we're here to thank all of the teachers of Santa Barbara County. Now we do have 3 different categories, 7 teachers that we are going to recognize tonight. The first are 3 distinguished new educators. The next 3 are distinguished mentors that are helping these new teachers hone in their craft. And lastly, we are going to celebrate our 2013 Teacher of the Year. And we have a group here that I'd like to recognize. First, Doss Williams, Assembly Member, 37th District. We have our 1st and 2nd district supervisors here, Salud Carbajal and Janet Wolf. I just saw them here. There they are in front. And representing State Senator Hannah Beth Jackson, Enrique Rocho.
The trouble that I got into in school is something probably better left unsaid.
Every once in a while, I didn't attend all the classes I was supposed to.
I was always talking too much. I was always out of my seat too much.
I was a goody-goody two-shoes kind of student, never got in trouble. Teachers loved me. I still love kids like that.
I never got in trouble.
I was a bit of a tattletale, so I get in trouble with friends.
I did get in trouble in 4th grade for humming too loudly.
It is my pleasure now, though, to introduce the man that for over 30 years has had a powerful impact on our schools right here in our backyard in Santa Barbara County. Please welcome the Santa Barbara County Superintendent of Schools, Bill Cerrone.
So why the focus tonight on beginning teachers, their mentors, and the induction program that supports them? A disturbing 2007 study conducted by CSU helps answer that question. It found that 22% of new teachers left the profession within 4 years, citing a lack of support as the primary reason. In response, county education offices all over the state developed induction programs to address this issue. I'm happy to report that today, some 96% of new teachers from our Santa Barbara County induction program state they plan to remain in the profession. And 1 year ago, as part of the induction program, the seed was planted for an event to recognize teachers new to the profession and the mentors who support them. Cox Communication quickly came on board as a partner and a leader in the venture. Tonight, we see these collective efforts come into fruition as we celebrate not only the partnership between education and local businesses, but also the important partnership between new teachers and their mentors. The first award winners we will recognize tonight are the Distinguished New Educators. The winners of these awards were selected from a large pool of nominees whose colleagues found them to exhibit exemplary instructional practice, innovation, and tremendous potential as new teachers.
Teachers are among the most important people you will ever know. Their influence impacts your decisions and even the direction of your life.
Montecito Bank and Trust is proud to partner with teachers each year to bring our Bank on Youth and Teach Children to Save Day programs into local classrooms. It's our privilege to join this community to build healthy financial habits in our children.
You never forget a good teacher. And that's why Cox, the Santa Barbara County Education Office, and Montecito Bank and Trust salute you.
I want to say good evening to everyone here tonight. On behalf of Montecito Bank and Trust, I couldn't be happier to be here to introduce our first distinguished new educator. I've known Sarah Clark for quite a bit of time now, and when she and the team at Cox approached Montecito Bank and Trust about sponsoring this event, I couldn't think of a more wonderful way for us to show our support for education in this community. 5 years ago, Montecito Bank and Trust recognized the need for financial literacy education in this community, and we hired a doctoral student from UCSB at the Gers Graduate School of Education to take on this responsibility as the coordinator and the liaison to local schools. And each year, Montecito Bank and Trust, through our Teach Children to Save Day and Banking on Youth programs, including our employees who visit classrooms and teach school children, as young as pre-K through as old as the high school grads, high school seniors, we teach them how to build healthy financial habits. And with the growth of these programs and the partnerships with teachers in our communities, we've been able to reach more than 2,500 students in 2013. Thank you. Of over 590 classroom hours, numbers that we hope to increase in 2014, and it's all volunteer work. So congratulations to everybody who works on that program. Thank you. And I'm here to invite any teachers who are in the room tonight, if you have not benefited from having our volunteers in your classroom doing financial literacy education, we would be thrilled to be there. So please come and see me after this event. I'm happy to help you sign up. And finally, we have formed a pretty amazing partnership with the team at Cox. We've been doing this for many, many years now, over many different kinds of events and different kinds of activities supporting nonprofits in our community. And I want to thank Cox for hosting such an amazing evening and for allowing us to be involved in a way to honor the teachers, the people who really make such a difference in our community for all of the students, all of our children. We thank you for everything that you do. Thank you. Let's roll this video and learn a little bit more about Cheryl Lastra.
Teacher. Who's the teacher?
She is, that's right.
Now, Miss Jessica. She's a teacher. Yeah. And what about Fabi?
My mentor nominated me because she thinks I'm an innovative teacher. However, I think innovation comes from the investment others have put into you. And I have been influenced by colleagues, administrators, a lot of people in my life. And it was that innovation and that reflection of them that helped me. I have a passion for kids. I think it's a God-given desire to see kids as precious and worthy of my best effort. I have a patience for kids, and I think that came with having 5 sons and learning to be calm in the midst of chaos. And I think the creativity comes by the kids themselves teaching you what works and what doesn't. And if you can connect with them, you can make an influence. And if you can influence them, they'll stick with you even when the academics get difficult. And then they learn. When a student who's struggling with math says, I get this, it's easy, you've made a connection, you've taught them something. Or it could be a student with autism who doesn't speak, who begins to speak. How powerful is that? Or there was one time when I was doing the Drug Free Club and the kids acted out a skit that I had given them a topic on. And it hit home so close that I began to get teary-eyed in a memory of something. And I got mobbed by 30 kids with a group hug saying, we love you, Mrs. Lastra, it's okay. Wow, those are the reasons I teach.
She's beautiful and she's smart, guys. Come on, give her a big hand.
Wow, thank you so much. I want to thank Cox Communications. What an awesome fairy tale evening this has been. I also would like to thank Montecito Bank and Trust for their investment in education, and also the Bacara Resort for this beautiful place to stay. I also want to thank the staff of Santa Barbara County Education Office for working tirelessly to bring this event that honors teachers in this inaugural year. I also would like to say a few things about the people who have influenced my life as an educator, and I'd like to acknowledge them today. Ryan Gleason, thank you for your inspiration in the teacher induction program. And my mentor, thank you, let's do that. And my mentor, Jennifer Connolly, who spent hours upon hours supporting me through this program. Thank you, Jennifer. I also have administrators to thank, both those at Hanada School, Solving School, and the Santa Ynez Valley Special Education Consortium. Thank you, Kathy and John and Claudia, for being here tonight. I appreciate that. I also want to thank my mother. She also is an educator, and she has remained the inspiration of my life. Thank you, Mom, for coming out of town to be here. I'd like to thank my husband for always being my biggest fan. Thank you, Joe. And thank you to my 5 sons. You are the delight of my life. It is through your eyes and your creativity and your love of nature that has transformed my classroom into a place of discovery. There are children now who are speaking because of the love that you have for creepy crawlies. And I have cockroaches in my classroom. So thank you for all of you have played a role in this event tonight and this award. So thank you very much. I wanted to say one more thing. I want to thank all the sponsors. I have never felt as honored as I have tonight. And I want you to know that for the rest of my career, I will strive to be worthy of the title Santa Barbara County Distinguished New Educator. Thank you very much.
Teachers are among the most important people you will ever know. Their influence impacts your decisions and even the direction of your life.
For 40 years, Fielding Graduate University has been in Santa Barbara preparing educational leaders for a changing world. That's why we're so committed to our local Santa Barbara teachers.
You never forget a good teacher. And that's why Cox, the Santa Barbara County Education Office, and Fielding Graduate University salute you.
And I'd now like to bring up to the stage our second distinguished new educator, Dr. Katrina Rogers, President and Provost from Fielding Graduate University, who's going to give out our next award. Please welcome Dr. Rogers to the stage.
Really, as far as I'm concerned, this event is more important than the Oscars because we care about, we're congratulating excellence in our teaching, and what could be more important than that? As most of you know, Fielding Graduate University was founded 40 years ago in Santa Barbara, right here in this town, to provide quality graduate programs in psychology, education, and human and organizational development for working professionals. It gives me great pleasure to announce that in honor of all the awardees here this evening, Fielding is going to offer a $6,000 Provost Achievement Scholarship for any one of the recipients that decide to pursue a doctoral degree. We believe so strongly in the quality of teaching that we hope that this small gesture will inspire them to continue to pursue their professional excellence. So we honor you all tonight, and thank you. So at this point, I would like to turn our attention to our next winner, who is an elementary teacher at Hollister School in the Goleta Union School District. So make sure that you pay attention to table 17, where he is. But let's right now pause and see the video.
Great. And group 3, I know you guys did something a little different, which is perfectly fine. Maya, what'd you put? I think lessons should be fun and exciting, and students don't want to just sit there and be listening to a lecture all day. Every kid's wired to play, so why not use that energy and put it into lessons? Number 2, who I picked on? Yeah, the whole child needs to be taught, not just the part of the brain that has to do with education. So there's times where I've stopped a grammar lesson because there's an issue on cheating or lying or stealing, something like that, and I'm happy to do that and feel like it's necessary. Well, it's a very large endeavor to make sure every day is amazing. Luckily for me, I have an amazing team at Hollister that we work really well together, we get along well together, we're friends, and we all have strengths, and we use those to make sure that we have an amazing unit and lessons for the kids. There's times where it's very time-consuming planning lessons or units, and I'm happy to put in the extra time and make sure the student has an amazing education and just a fun day. I love being with the kids, telling silly stories, and a lot of times we'll make up silly voices and repeat something that needs to be repeated. I also have special guests that come in where I'll just step outside, put on glasses or a hat or suspenders or something, and I'll come back in. Game Show Wilkes shows up on Fridays sometimes, and he has his big voice and his microphone, and he'll interview kids about the math review, or 49er Wilkes with his accent. It's very corny, but the kids like it, and I enjoy doing it. So I love being with the kids and interacting and having a good time. All right, because I have the mic and I get to say what I want. My first is an anti-thank you. I was told I had to memorize this speech, and now everybody has their notes. So if I stumble, it's all Gleason's fault over there. So, but first, I want to thank our sponsors. This is a fantastic event. Thank you, Cox Communications, the Santa Barbara Teacher Induction Program, Fielding Graduate University. They put a lot of time and energy into this. And Bacara. This place is amazing, so thank you so much, Bacara. I'm honored to be receiving this award, and with recognition comes reflection. As I reflect back on the last few years, I know that I would not be deemed distinguished without the support of my principal, Ryan Spar. He has made my priorities his priorities, and he's given me the freedom to be creative in class. So thank you so much, Ryan. Really appreciate everything you've done. I'm happy to say that I love what I do, largely in part to the team that I get to work with. It's a fantastic staff at Hollister, so thank you, staff. And my wife teaches 4th grade. She's absolutely incredible, and that's helped quite a bit. So. Lastly, thank you for recognizing the importance of devoted teachers in this county. It's very empowering. So thank you so much.
Teachers are among the most important people you will ever know. Their influence impacts your decisions and even the direction of your life.
Village Properties, our focus has always been the children of our community.
That's why we invest in our teachers who work so hard to educate our children.
We believe our support of local teachers brings many benefits to our children, one classroom at a time.
You never forget a good teacher. And that's why Cox, the Santa Barbara County Education Office, and Village Properties salute you.
Our next presenter is one of the good guys, well, good ladies of Santa Barbara. She is dedicated to many organizations, but I know education is a big part of what she does. And please help me welcome Renee Grubb, co-owner of Village Properties.
The reason I need my script is my wonderful teacher that we're honoring tonight. I got to know her a little bit. We kind of hung out a little bit. It was really great to get to know her. But she comes from a school that the title is so long that I know I would have gotten it wrong. So that's why I need my script. Anyway, one thing I wanted to say was just a little bit for you teachers that are out there that may not know about the Teachers Fund, Village Properties Teachers Fund. We've been in existence. Yeah, oh, you do know. Good. Just briefly, we started in 2002. There were a lot of cuts going on during that time for California, and we thought that it would be great to fund the classroom and the teacher because they're the ones who know what our students need out there. And now, after almost 11 years, we've funded over 1,700 classrooms and have funded over $1 million. So we're really proud of that. And we work hard for you, although a few weeks ago we had a golf tournament, which was kind of fun, but we raised a lot of money, so that's a good thing. Anyway, I really want to, I wish I knew more about my teacher tonight. She is our final award winner, and she is from, and here it comes, Pioneer Valley High School in the Santa Maria Joint Union High School District. So you see why I needed my... Anyway, she teaches French in high school, which I just think is so cool. She's delightful. She's, she lived in France. Anyway, I know probably more than you want to know about her, but I thought she was so interesting and so much fun. I got to know her tonight. Anyway, let's hear a little bit about our third distinguished new educator.
Let's do it together. Je pense que. I think that for me, I like to embrace the philosophy of you never stop learning. Not only that applies in the classroom as well as outside of the classroom, where for students, it's other than just memorizing, you really teach them to learn, to really understand something. But that also applies to myself as an educator. Never stop learning. I'll always try new things. Like I said, education, there are always different things happening, new technologies, strategies. Don't be afraid to try them out. In the teacher training program, you kind of borrow classrooms, you observe and you student teach, and it's exciting, but there's nothing like getting your own classroom. You know, I remember when I saw it, I thought it was the most beautiful classroom in the world. And just after that first day, you feel tired, but you feel a sense of this joy, you know, satisfaction, and knowing that hopefully you're touching people's lives and inspiring students to learn. I like it when they make me laugh. I mean, it's fun, but I love when they amaze me with what they've learned, you know? And I think sometimes as teachers, we don't give them that credit. We don't need to spell out everything for them many times. A lot of times, all we need to do is equip them with the right tools and show them the path, and they'll amaze you with what they'll know. And I love those moments.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am extremely honored and very, very humbled. First of all, I would really like to thank the sponsors for putting this wonderful event together, especially Cox Communications for making us look so good in the video. I know we were kind of nervous, but the editing is tip-top. I'd also like to thank Renee Grubb and Village Properties for your support in education, especially as new teachers. Sometimes as new teachers, we feel our voices maybe aren't heard, or we need to really be teaching for a long time before we can give an opinion. And this platform really kind of gives us that voice. So I really do appreciate that. I'd also like to thank my principal, Mrs. Herrera, first of all, for hiring me over the phone. And for her unwavering support. She's definitely been one of my biggest supports there. I'd also like to thank my mentor and co-department chair, Mrs. Carolyn Lucero and Mrs. Carol Moyer. Thank you for helping me from A to Z, from answering every single question I have to filling out paperwork for a conference. You really have been my second family here. I'd also like to thank my colleagues and friends at Pioneer Valley High School. And I'd like to thank Liz, my partner. Thank you for letting me try out lessons on you first, for staying up late with me, brewing coffee, all those little things that I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So thank you for that. A mi familia, quiero agradecerles todos estos años de apoyo y de amor. Sé que no estuviera aquí sin ustedes. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank my students, because even though I teach you a foreign language, you teach me how to be a better teacher every single day. Thank you.
It is time now to move on to our next category, which is our Distinguished Mentor Awards. And to kick off that category, I want to introduce the Director of Teacher Programs and Support at the Santa Barbara County Education Office, Mr. Stephen Keithley.
The Distinguished Mentor Awards recognize outstanding mentors from the SB CEO Teacher Induction Program. These mentors provide support and assistance to new teachers who have just come into the profession. The 3 award winners we're about to introduce to you were nominated by their administrators and their colleagues because they were exemplary in their commitment to professional growth, instructional practice, inspiration to others, and their dedication to the field of education. At this time, I'd like to introduce Don Sproul, local Director of Cox Communications, to the stage to introduce our first award winner. Please help me welcome Don Sproul.
I want to say I've worked for Cox Communications for almost 12 years, and I've never felt so proud to work for a company. We love giving back to the community, and we are huge supporters of education. And I've known this event has been going on down in our San Diego office for quite some time, and when I heard that we were going to bring it up to Santa Barbara, I was the first to jump up and down and say I wanted to participate and help however I can. So it's a totally different perspective when I'm coming at it as a mom of a second and a fourth grader who are in our public school system right now. And the thing I look forward to most every day is picking them up from school and hearing about their day and what they learned, and to see how excited they are, and realizing that, you know, their teachers spend as much waking hours as I do with them. I just know the importance of their teachers. You're their heroes, you're their role models, and you're very important. So I very much appreciate each and every one of you and all of the educators that help support our kids. So thank you very much. So I want to announce our first winner is an elementary teacher at Elwood School in the Goleta Union School District. Let's take a moment to get to know our first distinguished mentor.
When I first started as a teacher, I didn't have a lot of support in my classroom, and I think the biggest thing for me was hoping that I could help somebody out where I didn't receive that extra help. I also think as a new teacher, you need support. You need someone you can go to ask those questions that maybe you're not comfortable asking your teammates or asking your principal about, and just to be a sounding board for ideas and opinions and what can I do in this situation. New teachers need someone that they feel comfortable with, that they can ask those questions of. There's constantly new practices being brought out, there's new strategies to learn, and so to be able to use those new strategies but also get successful strategies that have been used in the past is very beneficial, and I think a mentor can provide that, and the new teachers can also provide the mentor with those new strategies that they've learned in their teacher ed programs. I have gained a lot from being a mentor. I feel I can always grow as an educator, so walking into someone else's classroom who has different ideas and different strategies, I've taken a lot away from the teachers I've worked with, as well as just the benefit of constantly reflecting. A lot of working with new teachers is getting them to reflect on their practice, which has made me reflect on my practice even more, and just a renewed enthusiasm for teaching and learning.
First of all, I would like to thank my family and friends for being here tonight and for supporting me throughout my entire career. And I would like to thank the sponsors, especially the BCARA, Cox Communications, the Santa Barbara County Education Office, for putting on this fabulous event tonight. I am very honored to be receiving the Distinguished Mentor Award. I would like to thank Sam Fulton and Amelia Stockton, the teachers I mentored and am currently mentoring, for allowing me to work with them and grow with them. Thank you to my principal, Abby Vasquez, for giving me the opportunity to share my practice with new teachers. Teaching is my passion, and I feel very fortunate I am able to get up every day and do something I love. There is nothing more rewarding than seeing the progress students make throughout the school year and the excitement they have when they learn something new. Thank you for this incredible honor.
Teachers are among the most important people you will ever know. Their influence impacts your decisions and even the direction of your life.
It's one of our core values to support our local community, and this seemed like a perfect opportunity. 600 employees. Many of my employees have children in the community, so what a great way to celebrate teachers.
You never forget a good teacher. And that's why Cox, the Santa Barbara County Education Office, and BCARA salute you.
Now for our next presenter, she's here to not only present an award, but also to answer the age-old question, what exactly are you allowed to steal from the hotel rooms? The soaps are okay, but the towels are a no-no? We'll figure that out. Please help me welcome General Manager Kathleen Cochran for the BCARA Resort and Spa.
We'll be short-sheeting his room, putting cellophane over your toilet. Welcome. I think it was Superman's uncle that said, with great power comes great responsibility. And so I come here with 3 hats. One as my business hat, which is to say I'm delighted to partner with some amazing companies, Cox and Montecito Bank, and I'm not giving any scholarships, so I'm very humble. So I feel very proud to be in your presence. And so thank you, and we're delighted to partner, and I hope, Sarah, that you'll have this event here every year. Say, yes, I will. Yes, I will. And number 2, as a mother, put on my mother hat, 4 kids, and, you know, I have to thank all of you teachers, because my kids might have been invisible. I had those kind of kids. They might have been invisible. They might have been left behind, but it was because of teachers like you that my kids are now functioning adults. And they're making their way in the world. So I thank you for that. And number 3, as a wife, got a husband over there, woo, who happens to be a teacher. And so I know all too well what you go through. You know, the trials, the tribulations, the anxiety, the wanting to make a difference. And actually just the other day, my husband shared with me an email from a student that simply said, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be where I was. And he's wondering why his kids aren't saying that to him now. But I'm like, that'll come. That will come. So it's just my honor to talk to you about our next winner, who's a teacher at Cabrillo High School in Lompoc Unified School District. Let's see our second distinguished mentor in action.
I think as a mentor, I'm always make sure that I'm there for my teacher that I'm mentoring, whether it be phone, email, stopping by, having lunch with, on a regular basis. I think just having that connection and that person to go to is really important. Just knowing that they have somebody there to help them through their first year or 2, which can be really tough for new teachers. Just having that support there is really important. You're not just a teacher, you're a mother, you're a father, to all these kids that come across your table, and there's all these extras and things that you need to do, designing lessons, pacing your calendars, working out your classroom discipline. I think it's really important that a mentor is there to help guide them, and it needs to be a good mentor, a mentor that has good values themselves and can be there and be that support person for that new teacher. It's a struggle. It's hard for new teachers. I don't think a lot of people see that. It's tough being thrown in the boat and having 250 students there depending on you every single day. And I think instilling good values in that new teacher is really important.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's just amazing standing here in front of every single one of you. Thank you so much for coming and honoring all of us, every teacher in our county. Thank you. I'm extremely humbled and touched to be standing up here this evening, being honored as a mentor teacher. Even though I don't know some of you, I know we all have one thing in common. There have been people to support us every step of the way. And that's what makes us so outstanding as a teaching community. I think that you would agree that none of us gets to be good at what we do without help. Chances are you're sitting with some of those people right now. The people who help you get through your day, your colleagues, whoop whoop, science department, your friends, and your family. So I thought back to the people who have helped mentor me over the years. I first want to thank my wonderful husband. Thank you. And my 2 young boys, 5 and 8, when they started school, it really made me that much stronger of a teacher. For their unconditional support and love. Thank you to Chris Ladwig, who couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. Mentored him as a master teacher while he was working as teaching credential and for 2 years with the TIP program. Jennifer Mason, who's here tonight, who helped nominate me as well. Thank you. Thank you again to my science department colleagues for your undying support and encouragement as my mentors, guiding me to the teacher that I am today. Thank you. You're my inspiration to mentor others. Thank you to every single sponsor who really helped make this evening a great success. Your tremendous support for education and educators is very overwhelming, and we are all gracious to you. Thank you.
Now, to introduce our final distinguished mentor, please help me welcome Susan Salcedo, who is the Deputy Superintendent of the Santa Barbara County Education Office. Come on up.
What an honor to present the next award to my very, very good friend, Megan Cottage. Outside of the classroom, she is a phenomenal athlete, exceptional athlete, I should say, triathlete, a fantastic tennis player, and a coach. Inside the classroom, she inspires her students every day in the area of science at the wonderful La Colina Junior High School in the Santa Barbara Unified School District. And she does that with creativity and inspires them through being on the cutting edge around technology. She has always been so for years and years. And probably most importantly, she connects with each and every one of her students every day and inspires them to reach their highest potential every year for the last 11 years, I believe, at La Colina. Let's hear a little bit more from Megan.
It's really important when somebody enters a foreign environment, which it could be their first year teaching, to have somebody that they can go to and their ups and their downs and be honest with. We'll help them on their tough days and we'll congratulate them on their good days. And so it's really important that they also have us just to orient them to the neighborhood, so to speak. There are a lot of things that are unique to a school or to teaching that they need somebody to be able to go to and not feel like they're pestering. So that's us. Well, I think one of the most important things to impact student learning is to have our beginning teachers have a great start. And so with the years of experience I have, I'm able to help those new teachers avoid some of the pitfalls. And I think one of the most important things we can do is teach them how to develop relationships and how once our relationships are formed with our students, it's going to make it for an easier transition. Some of the teachers who I've worked with in the teacher induction program have turned out to be career-long colleagues of mine, which is extremely rewarding because we have that foundation that we're able to build together and really grow our careers together. So we start off as mentor and new teacher, but we end up as colleagues working towards the same goal. I am grateful to the wonderful sponsors who clearly see the value in recognizing teachers for the work that they do. Thank you to the Bacara for this beautiful venue. This is beyond expectation. To Cox Communication for your continued support of education in Santa Barbara County, and especially to the Santa Barbara County Education Office. I've been extremely impressed with the new format of the teacher induction program and look forward to continued work there. It's an incredible honor to be in the first group of recipients of the Distinguished Mentor Award. Without my own mentors, I clearly would not be here today. Ron Pembleton from my very first days out of TEP, Peggy Lubchenko and David Ortiz, who are great educators who taught me that teaching is much more meaningful when you work as a team. From designing lessons to planning instruction and listening to the ups and downs, these role models taught me that it's imperative that we support each other in this journey. In recognizing mentor teachers, hopefully we're instilling the importance of supporting beginning teachers who will one day provide the encouragement and support of the next generation of teachers. So thank you.
School made a difference in my life because it's what inspired me to be a teacher myself.
It has instilled a lifelong love of learning.
I'm the only person in my family ever to go to college, and it's changed my life.
How did it make a difference in my life? It realized what kind of student and person I didn't want to be because I really hated everybody in school.
We tonight have a very special guest. Each year, Teen Star competition showcases talented teenage vocalists and from all over Santa Barbara County. And here to perform tonight, I'm not going to get this name wrong at all, I promise, is our 2012 Santa Barbara Teen Star, Rachel La Camare. Pretty good?
Thank you all so much for having me. The song I'm going to sing is a song I wrote, and it's called My Love Will Stand. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. How am I to get by when the little things in life just won't do? And if time allowed me, baby, you know I'd have you. But a lost heart does nothing good for the pain it undertook, don't you know? That this heart will lose its pride the moment he decides to go. But still there's a part of me hoping you'd come find me, and we'd drop everything and go. It's hard when life demands a completely different plan, and all is out of our hands, but my love will stand either way.
Now it's time to bring back the big dogs here. Dennis, get back up here. Bill Cerrone. We have the main event of the evening. So these two gentlemen here are going to take us into Distinguished Teacher of the Year.
You going to sing, Dennis?
No.
So we're going to do a Brooklyn duet.
Two Italian kids from Brooklyn. Not a good idea to be up here singing.
Okay. But what we do get to do is introduce the Teacher of the Year. And,
That's right.
The Santa Barbara County Teacher of the Year truly represents what is best about teaching. The Teacher of the Year is an excellent instructional leader who represents the entire educational community and is the voice for teachers across Santa Barbara County.
Right. Selected from a pool of Santa Barbara County's finest educators, the 2014 Teacher of the Year is unparalleled in every way. For the next few minutes, please give your attention to the screen as we learn more about our 2014 Teacher of the Year.
The one that's out here without the X stays the same sign. Oh. Okay. Hi, Danny.
Hi.
All right. Are we staying at school all day today? Okay, good. What's the vertex? I love that there's always something new to learn, whether it be math, whether it be an unsolved problem, whether it be a different way to teach, or whether it's a way to interact with somebody so that it's successful for both you and that other person. Good. What's vertex? And I love the creativity that comes along with teaching. The greatest thing about what I do is that I get the chance to work with students for a long period of time. And when I meet them, they're at a place where they're not seeing themselves clearly yet. They have a lot of bad habits, they've been unsuccessful at school, and they're very, very wary and distrustful of adults. I love those kids the most. They come into my classroom, they come into our program, and we work over the habits, we work over the attitudes, and really just show them kindness and what it means to be respectful and honest, and both from the adult and from the student. And they thrive in that. I watch them leave high school graduating with that diploma in hand, knowing that they have a better life than what they thought they were going to have 3 years before. I think the first thing I hear most from students is that I explain math really well, that I really break it down and I really try to make sure that everyone understands where this is coming from and that math isn't just some mysterious thing that's coming out of nowhere, that there's really a reason and there's a starting point from where math begins. Besides really trying to explain everything, I really try to make it accessible to the students, and I think they really love that. I think they love that I'm trying to give them a reason for learning it. I think they also like that I'm trying to just make it fun and let them have a moment to see the beauty of mathematics and to see where it exists in all of the world. I also think that they really like the technology that I bring into it, especially this generation. Everything they do is on those phones. And so anything that I can tie into that makes it much more exciting to them. They really love that I'm trying to outreach to their interest level. I am really eager to get to know my students, and I work really hard at making sure that they feel important every day. I greet them at the door, I walk around during the class, I say goodbye to them every day, and I think that their belief that I am genuinely interested in them motivates them to come to class, motivates them to do whatever I'm asking them to do, because they want to engage with me as a person and they want to be successful in my classroom. And I think that when that happens, they really get a chance to push themselves and transform themselves. Now more than ever, the teaching profession is essential. I think as technology is developed, more and more people, you hear it all the time thinking, well, kids are going to go to school online and kids are going to learn online and all the answers are there. And I think that's true. There are so many parts of it that are going to be wonderful. But kids need context and they need understanding and they need a chance to be motivated and inspired. And a computer is not going to do that. A teacher is going to do that.
For 17 years, Kelly has brought her skill and her passion to her students, making a lasting impact. As a math teacher and founder of the DP High School Academy, Kelly has had tremendous success working with the most at-risk students. Dennis, would you present Kelly with this award?
And you're right to be standing for such a dynamic and charismatic teacher. Please welcome Kelly Choi, your 2014 Santa Barbara County Teacher of the Year.
Thank you. I'm taking a breath because it's the first thing that I always tell our kids, take a breath. I am so overwhelmed by this evening right now. It has been absolutely, I think that Cheryl said it, like a fairy tale tonight. And not only in this room are all my very favorite people, but also all night long, it's funny that this talked about the technology, like all night long I've been getting these texts from my students saying, congratulations, Ms. Choi, we love you. It's just been an incredible, incredible night, so thank you. So I'd really like to start thanking all the sponsors, Cox Communications and Bacara for giving us this amazing place to be tonight. Also, thank you to Village Properties and Montecito Bank and Trust. Thank you to Fielding Graduate University, and thank you to Anthem Blue Cross and Boone Graphics, and especially thank you to the Santa Barbara County Education Office. You all have been so generous to public education tonight, and especially to all of those of us who have completely committed our lives to making the world a better place for our kids. So thank you so much. I'd like to thank some specific people. I'd like to thank my superintendent, Dr. David Cash. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for supporting all of our teachers and all of our students every day. I'd like to thank Sean Carey, my principal. You have championed our academy program and me since day one, and you still to this day keep our at-risk kids in the foreground of your vision for our school. So thank you so much for doing that. And then I have my cheering section. I'd like to thank Gina Pierce and Todd Rickman and Marietta Sanchez and Scott Gutentag for being my confidants and my cheerleaders, and for your tireless energy that you put into our school and our students. So thank you. And I also have the teachers who are on my academy team that work with the students you just saw, Mike Lynch, Lisa Koppenjan, and Brittany Rosenberg, who couldn't be here. Thank you for your tireless support, and I know we're tired, your tireless support of our kids and of each other, so thank you. And then I'd like to thank Heather Magner specifically. You inspire me, and you give me perspective, and you make me laugh every day, and we desperately need that every day. So thank you. Our academy program would not be what it is without you, so thank you. I'd also like to thank my students who are not here. They all wished they could. They all asked me, can we come? I'm sure they wouldn't notice us. We'll just sit in the back. Not a chance. They are so inspiring every day, and they challenge me every single day as a human being. And so I really am grateful for them. I'd like to thank my family that's here, my sister, Carrie, and my new brother-in-law. They just got married last week. Jack, so Carrie and Jack Scott, and my sister-in-law, Suki Raymond, who I so appreciate you being here with me tonight, and also always being my cheerleaders and always encouraging me to just take it in for a minute and really enjoy what I'm doing. And then a very special thank you to my husband, Dan. There he is. And my two daughters, Madeline and Sophie. You know it already, but you bring complete balance to my life, which could be completely unbalanced if I didn't have you. So thank you for bringing that love and laughter every day for me. I am just so grateful that our county wants to value education, starting with relationships first. And I'm so honored that the selection committee and that Santa Barbara County Education Office recognizes and appreciates the work that my team and I do every day for our most at-risk students to reverse that cycle of failure for them and strengthen our community. So thank you very much for this honor. Thank you.
So tonight, on behalf of our entire community, we join together to thank you for choosing teaching as a career and for all that you do for our children. We understand well that as a teacher, your service is among the greatest callings of our community, and your contributions are the most meaningful. You are our true community heroes. Let me close with a poem, author unknown, that captures the importance of teaching and your impact on humanity. As the wavelets in a quiet pool move outward from the point where a has been dropped and strike the shore and echo back against across the pools, and echo back once more until the motion becomes at last absorbed in all the tiny microscopic movements of the water, so does the influence of every teacher reverberate from person to person, visible, recognizable for greater or shorter times, but absorbed at last as an eternal part of the very soul of humanity. Thank you all once again for being a teacher and for all you do for our children. Again, you are true community heroes.
The item that was in my lunchbox most often was peanut butter and jelly on white Wonder Bread.
Little Vienna sausages, and I hated them.
Campbell's soup in a thermos, and avocado sandwiches.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Peanut butter jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly.
What it never had was something from the Hostess variety pack, which I was always very jealous of all the other kids.
It was always a burrito.
Bologna. I still have fond memories of it, but I'll never eat it again.
Rice, beans, some kind of meat.
Oh, I had yogurt in my lunchbox and an occasional ding dong.
Any kid wanted to trade me the fruit roll up, they better bring their dad's gold watch or something, but fruit roll up.